Ducks are crying foul about his work. Meet a master decoy carver.
With a traditional decoy, you can't put in specific details of individual feathers. You have to give the impression of the feathers and all. They're meant to fool the ducks at 20 feet.
He calls himself the anti-Norm, as in Norm Abram, that famed woodworker you've probably seen on TV. And his shop perhaps isn't the neatest. His tools are perhaps a little bit different. But the work that Richard Brennan creates in decoys is amazing functional art. Take a look.
There you go. Most everything we carve is functional. We do spearfishing decoys and hunting decoys, all breeds of ducks, divers, and puddle ducks, as well as for kind of an aside, we do traditional English rockers. Very little of what we do is decorative in nature. It's all functional to work. The decoys work properly as they're supposed to. They swim right, they float right. They're made in traditional methods, primarily with hand tools, and you know, made to hunt with. Although many of them, you know, end up being on mantelpieces for decorations, they all could actually be used to hunt or fish with. With a traditional decoy, you can't put in specific details of individual feathers. You have to give the impression of the feathers and all. They're meant to fool the ducks at 20 feet. And ducks, unlike fish, need to be fooled. I mean, they're pretty savvy when they come in, where a fish will grab it a silver spoon if you put it in. And what we're doing is drawing the top level view on the piece of wood. Right now we have what looks like the duck's body if you look on it straight down. And now what we want to do is make it look like the duck on the side. It's always done in a two-piece. The head will be a separate piece that's affixed afterwards. I use two types of wood for my ducks and one type for the fish. I use cork bodies with basswood heads, or I'll use basswood bodies and basswood heads for the ducks. And the fish are almost always basswood. Sometimes I'll use exotic woods for something doing neat with them. But the basswood is local trees. Linden, it's also called lindenwood. All right, now we have a duck that looks like something like what we want from the front and back. It's a little higher here, but we're going to take that out as part of the carving. This gives us an option of sloping it down for a total traditional style, or I could have some raised primaries in here. This is a pretty neat little tool. They come up with called a microplane. It's like a surf arm, only it's much better. It's like a surf arm on steroids, and you can get a lot of good shaping with it. You know, we'll bring the back down a little bit more because it's a little flat up here, and bring the chest down a little bit, and then sand it out and you get your body. And then the next step we would do is slice off the bottom, hollow it out, reattach the bottom, put our head on it. If the duck is weighted properly, it'll come back up the way it should. There's a traditional rocking horse. These parts will be nailed on. The mane is set into a groove. This will be the forelock that comes down, and we'll train the mane to come over, and it will hide the seam and insert the tail. All my horses are hollow body, and there's a gold dollar in each one of the bodies. It's sort of like a time capsule. And all my ducks are this kind of the same process. They're hollow, And inside is in the Hampshire state quarter to kind of commemorate the fact that from New Hampshire. It's like there's a million stars in the sky, you gotta take my word for it. It is in the Hampshire quarter, not just any old quarter. I like the fish and the ducks better than the horses. I do the horses because my wife shows horses and competes with them, and they're there, so it's a natural thing to do. And I do enjoy carving them, but I do like the ducks and the fish better. I do find the ducks more challenging than the fish. Not to say the fish are easy. If I swim it, I can do a couple things where I can jig it, which means it'll always seek level. And it will go in a straight line. And the other thing is it will do a circle. The ducks are definitely more challenging, and I've got a long way to go to be happy with my work. One of the fellows I worked with was carving these, and I had always wanted to carve. My uncle on my farm in Nova Scotia was a whittler. My father always thought that was really cool, and every time we went to Nova Scotia, he'd bring home a milking stool or an ox yoke or something. And my father always looked up to that, the carving. So I tried different things, stained glass or whatever, and I wasn't satisfied with it. And then when I got into the carving, I really enjoyed it. I think the thing that's great is each decoy hopefully would be better than the last, but they'll never be as good as where I want to go.